This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Walker, and Kim is my co-host again, and she is looking like a snowball today.
Well, it's cold today.
It looks like we're in two different parts of the world because I'm sitting here in a t-shirt, and she's like wrapped up in a white Shop Marketing Pros
fleece. Is this fleece?
I guess.
I don't know what it is. Well, you've got the heater on out there, and I'm in here in the office with this stupid thing that doesn't work right. So it's cold. Leave me alone.
All right. Today we are going to be talking about marketing tools and some tech ideas for auto repair shops. Before we get into that, I want to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our friends at RepairPal for providing this episode. RepairPal's certified network of shops are trusted by millions of customers each month. Learn more at RepairPal.com/shops. And are you ready to convert clients to members? App Fueled specializes in creating custom apps tailored specifically for professional auto repair businesses. Visit appfueled.com to get started today. Keep your shop top of mind on the mobile device they love. Well, hey, Kim.
Hi.
We are going to be talking about tools like software and some little tech items that you might want to use in your shop, especially if you're doing your own marketing. So it's no secret. We own Shop Marketing Pros and we do marketing for people, but we love teaching people how to do this stuff themselves. We love seeing people take it and run, but it requires, to do it right, it requires some tools that you may not have access to. And we're going to talk about some different options on some of these things. Where there's free options, we'll try to tell you about the free options. And we're going to tell you about some premium ones too, because let's face it, the premium ones typically work better than the free ones do. So,
yeah, and the thing is, I don't know that there's really anything that you can do well in this world without a tool or some type of technology in order to be able to truly do it well. So
it's like trying to diagnose a car and the only thing that you have is the little $30 Harbor Freight scan tool. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do, and you can do so much better if you have the better tools.
Yep. So let's start off with, my background, my world was all in the social media. And so when you think about social media and the tools that you kind of need, if you're doing just Facebook, know that you really need a whole lot of tools. But typically today, the average repair shop is going to be on Facebook and Instagram. Some are going to be doing TikTok. Some are going to be on YouTube. So just kind of in general, you're going to want to plan ahead. If you are doing social media on the whim, like, oh crap, I need to post something today, right now. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who are planning ahead and really being strategic about their social media presence.
If you're a multi-shop owner, or if you happen to be the chief marketing officer for a group of shops, then you're definitely going to want the things that she's talking about right now.
Yep, for sure. So if you're only one shop and you're doing just Facebook and Instagram, for example, Meta obviously owns both of those. And the Meta Business Suite has a planner built in. It's really pretty darn good. So you can really get away with just using that. And so I would say start there. But the other planners or schedulers where you can schedule your social media out ahead of time, we use Plantable. But keep in mind that we're an agency. We do a lot of social media for a lot of different people on a lot of different platforms. And so it works for us, but you can use it as a single business owner. So Plantable, others like that are Hootsuite, Buffer. We've also used Promo Republic, which most people don't know about, but it was truly a gem and very reasonably priced. And then once you have your social media planned out, you know what you're going to be posting, you're going to want to create some graphics. And look, I am not a graphic designer, which is why I love this tool so much. And it is by far the standard across the board that nearly anyone who's not a graphic designer is using, and that is Canva. There is a free version. There's also a very great priced premium, if you want to call it that version, or pro version. But Canva has templates where you can just go pop your own photo in it, and then it allows you to put your logo on it. You can put words on it, adjust the colors and the branding to match your shop branding. So Canva is kind of a no-brainer tool that I think anyone and everyone really needs.
So with the social media planning tools, okay, especially the Meta Planner, because that's going to fit most of the people who are listening. They're going to be able to use that Meta Planner. But I think that there's a lot of people that are out there using social media for their business that don't even know that this thing exists. How do they get to it? How do they access it? What's that planner going to do for them that just going into the app, like the regular old Facebook app, is not going to do?
So the planner built in, it's pretty easy to get to. I mean, it's kind of hard not to find it. When you're going into the back end of your Facebook page, the business portion of it, where your settings are and all that, it's in there. A lot of people have been finding it because in our Facebook group, there's 2 or 3 different posts within the last week or two where some shop owners have been asking about using this.
Facebook group? We have a Facebook group?
Oh, Lord, y'all. The Auto Repair Marketing Mastermind Facebook group. Yes. And if you're not in it, obviously, we want you to hop in there. There's some incredible conversations happening. And
really great conversations. And you get to not only hear from us, but you hear from other shop owners who are doing this stuff themselves. There's a lot of ideas that are being passed back and forth. And if you are interested in doing your own marketing, or especially if you are doing your own marketing, if you're not there, you're missing out. Auto Repair Marketing Mastermind on Facebook.
And I'm really proud of the fact that we have finally grown it to where our original vision is now happening, where it's less us and more the actual shop owners in the industry who are asking questions, posting ideas, encouraging one another. We keep it pretty clean in there. Like, we're very picky about allowing the right people in, and we don't do a lot of moderation. We don't have to, because people just know the culture of that group. And so we do teach in there once a month. And so you can go back and do a search for Tuesday teaching and find a lot of classes that we've taught. But the reason why I brought that up is because this particular topic on the Meta Planner Scheduler has come up most recently. We're recording this on January 10th. So first couple of weeks of January, end of December, people have been asking, hey, are y'all using this? Do you find it really effective? And the comments have been, yes, I'm using it. I love it. It's great. And so it's not hard to find. You just go to your Facebook business page, click on settings. It will bring you into the back end of your Facebook page. And it's literally right there. It's a calendar. You can drag and drop very easily, schedule, put your picture, your video, whatever it is in there, links, and schedule when you want it to go. And Facebook knows everything. So it's even going so far as to telling you the best times to post it, to schedule it. So it's free. It's included right there in your Facebook business page, and it will allow you to schedule to Instagram as well, which is great. The other thing is tracking. So instead of just putting a link to your website, is actually using a link shortener like Bitly, which is bit.ly, to shorten those links and have tracking code in them so that, it's so hard to attach an ROI to your social media. But in this way, you're able to see, I posted this link and this is how many people clicked that link. This is how many engagements I got from that particular link. So that's very helpful. And then if you're using Instagram, you can post a link, but it's not clickable. And so that's why so many people are saying link in bio, or look at our link tree, for example. That is a tool that you can use to put links in, and from your Instagram post, you can say the link is in our bio, and they click, and it's like Linktree, for example, is one place where you can put all those links. So
yeah, and they click on that one link, and what it does is it takes them to a place where you got a link, say, to your website, and a link to your Facebook if they're coming from Instagram, or a link to your LinkedIn, or a link to just schedule online, or whatever. You can have all of these links that are there. Yeah, absolutely. So because you can only have that one link in your bio and Instagram, right?
You can have your website, but yeah, I mean, it's just, you're not going to have a ton of links in your bio. And that's why you want to just have one that they're clicking on. And, a lot of people have, like us, for example, we have free stuff that we give out, a PDF that we want you, and instead of having all these different, you can't have all those different links, but they click one, and then here's the link to join our Facebook group, and here's the link to download this free PDF, and so on and so forth. Book a discovery call, for example. So those are tools that are specific, and it's not all of them. It's the main, we're hitting the high points. These are the main tools that we feel you need for social media. The next one is search engine. These aren't in any particular order, but search engine optimization. Brian, that's your world. So tell them about these, what they are.
If you're going to do your own SEO, you can wing it. You can just go and, start creating content and your blog and good keyword rich content on the pages of your website and everything. And then you can go sit there and do searches and find out where you rank for certain key terms. And if you want to track it in a spreadsheet and all of that, you can do it. It's just that your time, that essentially is money. And there are tools out there that will make your life so much easier if you are doing your own SEO. And the best tool for SEO is called SEMrush. It's SEMrush. And SEMrush has a ton of features in it. It is an all-encompassing SEO tool. But the big things that you're going to be doing with it are your rank tracking. So you can go add all the keywords that you're tracking, add the locations that you want to see, how you rank in those particular locations. It'll show you, and it'll show you the increases and the decreases in your ranking. It's a great tool for doing keyword research. It's a great tool for doing topic planning. So, if you're going to be doing your own SEO, you're going to be writing those blogs. Well, what do you write the blogs about? You need to write them about the things that people are searching for and the things that you can rank for, because there's not a million other people out there that are trying to rank for the same thing in your geographic area. So SEMrush will help you to find those topics. Those are just three of the big things that you can do with it. Go to SEMrush's website, which is just SEMrush.com. You'll see all of the features of that tool. It's not cheap. Last time I should have looked before we did the podcast, but last time I looked, it was about $99 a month for a single location business to use it. But if you're doing your own SEO, it's well worth it. The other one would be Ahrefs, which is spelled Ahrefs. And that is going to allow you to do backlink audits. If you're doing SEO in a highly competitive area, then you're going to need to employ backlinks. And when you do that, you can use a tool like that to figure out what are the links that you need, what are the links that your competition has, and how you might go about getting those links back to your website. That's a pretty technical thing to do. Most of the time, for someone who is doing their own SEO, they're not going to get into heavy link building and using a tool like that. However, there are some of you out there that geek out on this stuff. I mean, like I did. I was first and foremost a shop owner, learned how to do this stuff myself. And if these tools had existed when I had my shop, I would have had subscriptions to these tools and used them to do our SEO. So, those of you who are highly technical when it comes to this kind of stuff, you would want to use Ahrefs. And then this is built into SEMrush, but you may want to use this and not pay for a subscription to SEMrush, because the subscription to Local Viking or Local Falcon is going to be a lot cheaper. And what Local Viking or Local Falcon do, which are two totally different softwares, similar names, they will check your Google business profile ranking, and they'll show you on a grid around your location where you rank in your Google Maps listings, how your Google business profile ranks in Google Maps, are what a lot of people just refer to as local SEO. It'll show you how you rank in your local SEO. Those are tools that, if you're doing your own SEO, you need to at least be able to take a look at that. And there are other tools out there. One of them's industry specific, and I'm totally drawing a blank on it right now. Kim, Uwe's tool.
Uwe's AutoBiz IQ.
AutoBiz IQ. Yep. Which is very specific to auto repair, and will show you how you rank not only in the local area, but actually in the neighborhoods around your shop, which I personally see it as a much better tool for using to decide where you're going to send direct mail. It will absolutely do what I'm talking about with Local Viking or Local Falcon.
Yeah, and Uwe posts, he's very active in a ton of the groups, so he's easy to find, and we really like that tool. So
yeah.
Okay.
You want me to go over digital advertising?
No, I can, and you just add in. But here's the thing. Digital advertising, y'all, very similar to SEO in that there's a lot of T's to be crossed, a lot of I's to be dotted, there's a lot that goes into the planning of this. Be careful putting your feet in that pool. Like, make sure that you are learning about these digital ads. And, I'm not trying to scare people, but I just want you to know that you've got to be organized. This is one of those things where touching a toggle button without paying attention and you've just turned on ads and you're spending money. So you have to be organized. And one thing I want to share is with all the things that we've just talked about, these are all things that you want to go visit and bookmark. Like, I actually create folders in my Google Chrome, like not now, but I used to when I was doing all this stuff, is I would have social media and I would have all my social media tools bookmarked and, SEO and digital ads and like bookmark all of these tools so that you're using them on a regular basis. So with digital ads, Excel and Google Sheets, and Brian, you could do a whole episode with Haley, who used to be our digital ads director, and now she's moved into operations for the entire company. But she was brilliant and her team's brilliant about being super organized and using spreadsheets for all of the planning and the tracking and the analysis and all that. So really becoming good at using Google Sheets and Excel, whatever you're using. The keyword planner, you have to know the keywords you need to be targeting, the keywords you need to be using in your ads. And so planning ahead and using that keyword planner, which is built into the platforms that you're using for ads, like Google, for example. The UTM builder. We talked about this sort of with social media, with Bitly, and there's several different ones, but the UTM builder that we're talking about for ads, specifically, you could just literally Google UTM builder. And it's going to bring you to the site where you're going to plug in, let's say it's a blog, maybe, or it's your scheduler, okay, to make it more relevant. Your auto repair shop scheduler. You've got the link to the scheduler and you put that in the UTM builder, and then you're going to build out that URL. Y'all have seen this when you click on an ad and you look at your URL, and it's not just shopmarketingpros.com or abcautorepair.com. It's abcautorepair.com/, and then it's got all this other language built out. It's a very long URL. That's what this comes from. And it's so that you can track that ad set, that ad campaign. You know exactly how it is performing.
UTM tracking is something that you can use for all of your marketing. Basically, what it does is it allows you to put the information about your marketing into the URL. And there's 5 different parameters that it uses in UTM. Let's say that you're going to send out 2 different emails, and one of them has a picture of a car on it, and one of them has a picture of a customer, in the email. Well, you can literally put into the URL that this link came from the one that had the picture of the car in it, or this link came from the one that had the picture with the customer in it. That way, when you go look at your Google Analytics afterwards, you can determine which one of those emails worked the best. We know it didn't just come from the email, because typically Google Analytics will tell you where something came from, but it won't tell you the details. It'll tell you, oh, this came from email, this came from Facebook, this came from a Google search, or this came from a paid ad. But with ads, you can have all kind of different ads going, and you can use that UTM data to determine, oh, it was this specific ad. And there's other ways to do that with ads also, actually in the Google Ads platform. But if you want that information to carry through and be able to see it with some additional minute details, you can do that with your UTM builder. Same thing with your social media posts. You can create that link that tells you not only did this come from Facebook, but it came from this exact post. UTM tracking is a great way to be able to track your marketing. And it's one of the reasons that I love tools that allow UTM tracking. Like I had mentioned in one of our last podcasts recently about auto ops, because they actually allow us to track with UTM. So we get the minute details about the marketing that we're doing and how those appointments came into the website.
Yeah, so I mentioned Bitly earlier in the social media section. It's similar, but it is not the same. It is a shortener. Bitly is going to, or tinyURL, you've heard of that one as well. That's going to shorten a long link.
But you can use them together, because UTM can create a very long link.
Yep.
I've literally seen links that were UTM data that were a full document wide and they were 5 rows tall.
Ridiculous.
And you don't want to post that link right into your post. You want to create the UTM link, and then you want to use something like Bitly to shorten it. So now you have a tiny little link, but all of that UTM data still goes through it. I love talking about sponsors of the podcast who have already worked with and who I've used before. So today, I'm super excited to talk to you about RepairPal, which, if you didn't know, will introduce your shop to new customers through RepairPal.com, the largest site for auto repair, and through the recommendation of their partners like USAA, CarMax, and Consumer Reports. Our shop was in a RepairPal certified network, and it was great for getting new customers who were looking for more than just oil changes. The average RepairPal customer spends over $600 on their first visit. I loved it, especially because we all know that consumers still mistrust repair shops. But the millions of customers that visit RepairPal.com monthly, they trust RepairPal certified shops for their high quality and great service. And there's no fear about being overcharged, so we were able to just focus on the repair. I highly recommend you check them out. It's the way to grow your business. Go to RepairPal.com/shops, get 1 month of service free, and save $150 off certification. Independent auto repair shops, get ready to transform your business with App Fueled. It's time for your professional auto service shop to have its own customer loyalty app. App Fueled will build an app that launches a custom loyalty program for your shop in 30 days or less, fully integrated with your point of sale system. Bring Fortune 500 level customer retention strategies to your business without the Fortune 500 budget. Many shops are enjoying the benefits. Our app engages your customers with a loyalty ladder, enticing them to climb the next rung, coming back more often and spending more each visit, all with your own app. Build loyalty with your customers to your brand and boost your shop's growth. Get your first app in 30 days or less, all without breaking the bank. Ready to start? Let App Fueled take your business to the next level. Go to appfueled.com or meet founder Jeremy Glasgow and book your complimentary app vision session at appfueled.com/Jeremy. That's appfueled.com/Jeremy.
Okay, y'all. So Brian's most favorite topic, the next one, I'm going to introduce it and mention these things, but let him give you it. And you've heard us talk about these many times before. None of these are going to be surprises to you. But when it comes to video, as an auto repair shop, you can use video in so many ways. You do not need to hire a professional videographer. There is definitely a time where that is great. But for your day-to-day ongoing marketing, the 3 main things that we're recommending that you grab, and these are easily ordered on Amazon, and that is the DJI mic. Brian loves this thing, and I mean, I just use whatever he gives me to use whenever the time comes, and it's super easy, and it's good quality, and he'll talk more about it. A tripod and a gimbal. Brian, what do you want to say about those things?
I want to say DJI mic, yes. Tripod, yes. Gimbal, no.
Oh, well...
So it's built into most phones now. If you've heard me talk about video, which chances are if you've listened to any podcast I've ever done, then you've heard me talk about video because I talk about it that much. But I'm big on keeping it simple. You don't want to overcomplicate it because that video is the one place that you can overcomplicate things to death, and you'll make it to where it's a chore instead of something that could have been quickly done and posted. So that's why I'm big on not editing. And I think there's a place for editing, but I think that place comes after you get really good at video and you love doing video. Then you're going to naturally want to make your videos better, and that's when editing comes in. But in the beginning, no editing. But I do believe the DJI mic is a must-have tool, and it doesn't have to be the DJI mic. What I'm really talking about is a wireless lapel microphone. And you can get really inexpensive ones, which you can possibly see this if you're watching on YouTube. I've got this wireless lapel mic that is not a DJI
thing you
mic.
Almost left in the cruise cabin the other day?
No. That's the DJI mic.
Oh.
This, if I had left it in the cruise cabin, I would not have really cared. Not that big of a deal. This thing's like $30. I'll put a link to it in the show notes, and it works pretty good. But the DJI mic has beautiful, beautiful sound, and it's got some really nice features. And they just came out with the DJI Mic Mini, which is like half the price. It's like $159. And it's everything that an auto repair shop is going to need. And the sound of it, I don't own one yet, but I've heard the sound compared to the main DJI mic, and it sounds every bit as good for half the price. And it's smaller. So, it's even harder to see when you're wearing that on your shirt.
Let me just say this real quick. Let's face it. People are scared of doing video. Whether it's I don't like my voice, or I need to lose weight, or I'm not good on camera, or all of the many reasons. We don't want to add to those reasons by giving you a ton of tools that you have to have. That's why we're keeping this simple, because in order for you to get going you have to get going, right? Let's just turn this engine on and put one foot in front of the other and take one step at a time. So before you're trying to get into all the other things, one little tech gadget that I would add to this for video that's super easy is, you're maybe working on a car and you can't be holding a phone. So there are these great magnetic little apparatuses that you can buy that will magnet hold to your lift that you can put your phone on. You could be using a tripod for that. We've got tripod listed here, but that is another thing, is that you can, instead of a tripod, is maybe you can just magnet that phone to your lift and use it from there. Somebody posted about that again in our group. Yeah. That would be a great idea.
There's all kind of little toys like that you can add on after you get going. The danger with all of that stuff is that you look at it and say, oh, well, I can't do this until I have that. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, you don't need a DJI mic and you don't need a tripod. You have everything that you need in your pocket. And I don't care if you even have an old iPhone 4. It's good enough, to get the job done. And then you get better as you get more comfortable with it, then you can increase the tools that you have. I do think that a DJI mic and a tripod are really good tools to just buy. You start using them. The tripod that I recommend is a Ulanzi tripod. It's about $22, I think. We'll put a link to that in the show notes also. So yeah, DJI mic, tripod, but you don't need them.
Okay, website. This is pretty simple. What tools would someone need for their website, Brian?
AutoOps.
Scheduler.
Yep. AutoOps is a great scheduler that, I believe that it is the one. There's others out there. You got Shop Genie. Shop Genie's got a good scheduler built into it. I just personally think that AutoOps is the best one. And it works with pretty much all of the other software out there. You can run that no matter what CRM or shop management system within reason. If you have a slightly modern one, it'll work.
So for the people listening who don't have a website or whatever, they're just not there yet. They want to build their own. I don't even know this. Do you have a favorite website builder you would have people go and use?
Yeah, Squarespace would be the one. It's going to be the easiest way to make a pretty decent looking website. They've got some good templates and stuff. It is not the best for SEO, for example. But look, if you're just starting out and you need a website, I built my first website in Microsoft Word because I needed a website and I didn't have the money to pay somebody else to do it. And if you're just starting out, don't fall for that, all you need is a Facebook page, and you go, it's better than nothing. Yeah, you can go buy a domain name and point it to your Facebook page. You can buy a domain name and point it to your Google business profile. But you can also build a pretty decent looking starter website with something like Squarespace or even Wix. I'm a fan of Squarespace, though, for the, a starter website. Super easy to use. Unless you just really have a very bad eye for design, it's going to look okay. And it's going to perform, on mobile devices also.
I don't want to leave the website part without reminding people that, and this isn't really a tool or a tech tip, except that maybe the tool is your camera, is pictures for your website, right? If you're hiring a photographer, great. But really, I'm talking about, you can pull out your camera and take some good pictures of your shop. So not stock photography, but using your own shop, real pictures. So again, portrait mode can be your best friend when you're taking an up-close picture of something. So,
and look, I always have crazy ideas when it comes to this stuff, but you have clients that are photographers, hire them to do it. And don't be afraid to spend a couple of grand to have some good photos done. At the same time, you might have somebody in sometime that that they're a photographer and they are there for, oil change or some kind of a minor service on their car or something. And you could tell them, look, I'll trade you if you will take my cell phone and just spend the next 20 minutes walking around taking some pictures with my cell phone. Because the thing is a photographer with a cell phone will take pictures that are 100 times better than a novice with the best camera in the world. So, you might insult them when you say that, but if you know them well enough, then, exactly. It's worth a try.
All right, let's move on to email. This is quick and easy. Email, look, your best tool for email, and this is coming from a Constant Contact, long-time loyalist, right? Constant Contact is a tool to do email marketing, and that is definitely one of our recommendations, along with MailChimp, although I love Constant Contact way far better. But your CRM, if you have a CRM right now, there's a ton of options out there. If you have a CRM, it's most likely 99% of the time got email built in. And so for sending emails to your customer base, you already have it. It's a tool that you're probably already paying for and you're not even using.
While we're talking about that, one of our sponsors is App Fueled. And there's this perception out there in the industry, and it's a misperception that App Fueled is just a way to build an app for your auto repair shop. And yes, it does. You do essentially build an app for your auto repair shop, but it is a full-featured CRM. And it is the best one that I have seen. When I looked at this thing for the first time and I saw the call center that was built into it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing else like that in the industry. And, it's that name of App Fueled has people thinking that it's something that it's not. And it's so much more than just an app for your business. But yes, if you have App Fueled, or if you have most any other CRM, you can send those monthly emails, because that's what we're talking about here. Yes, everybody knows that the CRM will send the automated emails to let people know about services that they're due for and things like that. But those emails only get sent out like every maybe 4 to 6 months. And you need to be in your client's inbox at least once a month, in my opinion. And I say at least, really, for an auto repair shop, once a month is that's a good time frame to be in their inbox. And you can typically do that with your CRM. But people just don't know that they can, they don't know that they can do it. Or some of the CRMs that are out there, they don't have good email builders in them. They have the capability of sending the email, but they don't have what we call a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get editor. But if you have a good modern CRM, hopefully it's one of the ones that has a nice what you see is what you get editor in it, so that you can build those emails and send them out on a monthly basis.
Yep, for sure. All right, so we've hit the highlights on a lot of the marketing tactics, the tools, the tips, the tech things that we think you need. To kind of wrap it up, and then we have a couple of little extras, or we call lanyap. But to wrap it up, everybody wants to know, how's my marketing doing? How do I measure the return on my investment, whether it's time or dollars or whatever it might be? How do I see the analytics? And so very quickly, Meta, right? Meta, if you're using Facebook or Instagram, Meta has all that right there, where we talked about the planner, the scheduler. You can see that's called insights on the stats, how many views on the video, how many likes, how many clicks, how many actions, the engagement, all that kind of stuff. You can see how your social media posts are performing, so you know what your audience likes, what they're engaging in. So Meta Insights. We personally love agency analytics. I put that in here. I don't know that it really applies to you as a shop owner, but you could go use that. There are other tools and that you can maybe go do a Google search for. But for us, agency analytics, any of our clients, they're seeing their report through agency analytics. And we go in and you're able to build yourself a dashboard where you can connect agency analytics to all of your marketing resources, your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, Google Analytics, your Google business profile, your website data, all advertising, all these, you get it all in one place. So if you're someone that doesn't want, or if you're a multi-shop owner, for example, you don't want to have to be going here and going there and clicking on this link and click. You want everything in one place. That is one place to look at. But your CRM also has a great number of data, insights, and stats on the performance of that email, like Brian talked about, or that text, or whatever it might be. It's pulling in a lot of great data. So it's a good place to go look as well. We also love Google Analytics and the Search Console and the Looker Studio. Brian, I know you have a lot of experience with those. So why don't you talk about those three?
Yeah, so Google Analytics and Google Search Console are the ones that are going to allow you to see what's happening with your website. Search Console is a great tool because it'll give you warnings about things that are broken on your website. Or if your website goes down, it'll give you a notification that, hey, your website's down. If you have a page on your website that's no longer mobile compatible, like you put a new image on that page or you embed a video into that page and you don't do it right, if you don't go look at it on your mobile device, and even sometimes if you do go look at it, you might not realize that you broke the mobile compatibility of it, and that can impact your search results. So, Search Console is a great tool to be able to do that. And Google Analytics is just going to show you what's happening on your website, how many visitors you've had, how long they stay on the website, what pages they visit, and all of that. You can get a lot more information from it as well using some advanced tactics. Now, Looker Studio is basically Google's version of Agency Analytics, and it is free. So it is a great tool. Basically, what you can do is build yourself a KPI dashboard. You could pull all kinds of information from your business into that. It doesn't have to just be your marketing, and have like a CEO dashboard that you can go look at that is showing you at all times how various things are performing. And then let's go ahead and get into the lanyard. We can start off with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an amazing tool. And if you go back and listen to some of my earlier episodes, I was very weary of AI. And don't get me wrong, I'm still kind of weary of it. I think that it could be the ultimate dumbing down of the human race because we don't even have to think anymore. What AI is doing, it is an absolutely amazing tool that I think is incredibly dangerous. But what you can do with marketing with ChatGPT, and I say ChatGPT, there's some other great AI tools out there. So I'm using ChatGPT almost in the same way that I would use the word Google if I was just talking about search engines in general. ChatGPT and the other AI tools that are out there, you can create some really great content with them if you know what you're doing. But you have to invest the time to learn how to use these tools to create really great, unique content that has your thought leadership in them, because it can also spit out some generic junk that will not do anything for you, in the realm of marketing or especially rankings, because a lot of people will use ChatGPT, especially for creating content for SEO. You have to invest in learning it, but also creating images. Some of the ads that we're running right now for our business are using images that were created right out of ChatGPT with some pretty simple prompts.
We did a lot of editing to those images to make sure that they fit what we really wanted. So be sure that you're really paying attention and doing that.
The next one, go ahead.
Well, it's just a fun one, and I'll just keep it brief.
She wants to steal the fun ones.
Well, no. But if you really are that passionate about it.
No, it's okay. You can have it, Kim. You can have it.
Well, I brought this up several years ago, and this thing is still hanging out there, doing very well. There's really one main one. There are knockoffs of this one, but it's the Smirl, SMIIRL. And it is a follower counter. There's been several discussions, again, here recently in our Facebook group about this. And we have a particular friend who's like holding out, doesn't want to spend the money on it. I think it's several $100, $300-$400. But it's just a little square, wooden looking device, gadget that you put in your lobby. And when someone likes or follows your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever, it's a counter, like the old school counters on websites at the bottom that would track how many people came to your website. So these are just fun. And I find that when I visit someplace and I see that in there, I've witnessed people who literally will scan the QR code to go so that they can watch the number turn. And so it's just a fun little gadget that you don't need, but it's just fun to have. I know that Joe Schindler with Schindler's Garage, he got, I think, 2 a couple of months back. And then
Facebook and Instagram.
Nate Winston, I think Nate just got one as well. So anyways, it's just fun. And the kind of leading one is, again, Smirl, SMIIR.
Do you remember the first place we ever saw one of those?
It was here locally.
Oh, no.
It was.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Was it in Quantum Mechanics?
Mm-mm. It was at the surf shop in Isla Morada.
Oh, correct. You're right. That was a
We
long
went
time
there
ago.
and we went paddle boarding, which was awesome. We paddle boarded up in the mangroves. We had the big cow animals that swim. What are they called?
Sea cows, but they're called manatees.
Manatees, yes. Manatees literally swimming underneath us in that clear water. It was awesome. But they had one of those there. I couldn't resist. I pulled my phone out and I went and liked their Facebook page so that I could watch the numbers turn.
It's almost
I'm entertained by simple things.
It's almost like this thing has had a resurgence here lately. I feel like it was very popular a while back, and it's not that it lost popularity. It's just like, I don't know, were they on like Shark Tank or something? Because they've just come back hardcore. Both our brains are starting to fade. So I'll
talk about NFC tap technology.
Yes.
Okay. So with NFC tap technology, basically you go on Amazon. If you search for NFC technology, it'll come up. And it's a little chip, essentially, that you buy and you program it with the information that you want so that when somebody taps their phone on it, the phone will grab that information. And what you do is you create a contact card for your auto repair shop that has all of the information about the repair shop. And you could have one for each service advisor that is there. But the reason that this is so good for an auto repair shop is that you have your main phone number. Then you have the phone number that sometimes is associated with your shop management system, then the phone number that's associated with the CRM, then the phone number that's associated with your DVI. You can have all of these different phone numbers, and you want, when somebody gets a communication to their cell phone from any of your numbers, no matter where it's coming from, you want it to come up as your shop's name. Well, if you build that contact card and you put all of that information into the contact card, when that person is communicated, no matter which number it's coming from, it's going to come up and say the name of your shop on their phone. So they're going to recognize it. They're going to look at the text, actually read it, or pick up the phone if it's a phone call. And all that they have to do is, you have your service advisor tell them, hey, tap your phone on that. And then it will add your shop's contact information right to their device. And yes, you could do this with a contact card on a cell phone, but it's so much easier to do it with the little NFC tap device.
Yeah, I've even been to some like lunch events where people had little things sitting out at their, heck, I think the Institute did this. You weren't at Mars. You were having that procedure done. Yeah, I want to say that the Institute had this sitting at each person's spot at a table, and it was to put the Institute's contact in their phone.
Yeah. It's cheap. The little NFC things are like $20 on Amazon. They might even be less than that now.
I feel like the Institute did something a little extra. I feel like I remember it being like wooden, some really nice wooden looking thing. And anyways,
and then along that same lines, a digital business card. And I know that you love yours, so I'll let you talk about that.
Yep. So if you're looking on the video, I have it right here. And Chris Cotton, I'm going to give him a shout out. He's the one that turned me on to this app, Hi Hello. So you can go download the Hi Hello app and you can build out your business card. So that's my business one. And then this is just a personal one that I have. So if I want to just give people my personal contact information. And so when you click on it, then there's a share button and here's the QR code. So literally, if you're on here right now, you can scan that QR code with your phone and it's going to add my contact. And you just follow through, add to contacts. And now people literally have all of your contact information. It just looks great. I don't even carry business cards with me anymore. Just don't. I honestly don't even know where. I'd have to spend time going and searching and looking for one. Even our team, when we go to conferences, they're like, can I get some business cards? And I'm like, yeah, but just get a digital business card. Like, it's a no-brainer. And people love it. And it's just easy. So
this next one, take it for what it's worth, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. And that is a podcast for your shop. And we did an episode about this, and we'll put that in the show notes also, about whether or not your shop should have a podcast. And I personally believe that it should. But there's a caveat on that. It's not going to be a podcast about auto repair, but I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story. You need to go listen to the other podcast. Again, the link will be in the show notes. I'm going to come back and tell you what episode that was so that you can go listen to it. But first, I'm going to let Kim talk about the last item that we have.
Yeah, which he threw in there. I did not put this in the list, and I didn't even know he put that in there until just now. But if we're friends on Facebook, you have seen me post about this multiple times, and I did not realize how long I've had one of these until I was recently just kind of digging through some old stuff. But here again in the video, the Remarkable. My Remarkable is a digital notebook, and I'm not an ADD sort of person, but when I'm on my phone or my laptop taking notes or something like that, I can easily get distracted by text messages or emails or whatever. And so the Remarkable notebook, there's a pen. I'm holding it right here. And the notebook doesn't feel like paper, but it's pretty darn close. It feels easy. It feels smooth and good. And you can change your pen to be like a mechanical pencil or a ballpoint pen or a calligraphy pen. If you're listening, just listen. But if you're watching on video, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. But you can imagine having a notebook for every conference you attended and a different spiral sort of notebook or one of those composition notebooks for a journal or for employee notes or business meeting notes, or you've got all these different notebooks. Well, here you have one and it's very thin, one notebook. And I create folders. I have folders in here. So I have a folder for faith related stuff. So I literally bring this with me to church and I take notes in church. I've created my own template. So it's the same template every Sunday. I have my morning devotional notebook in the faith folder and other things. And then I have a business folder. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but in my business folder, I have a Shop Marketing Pros folder. So all my S&P related stuff lives in there. But then I have, like I was talking about Mars. So we went to the Mars conference with the Institute last year, and I have a notebook from all of my notes from every speaker at the Mars conference. Podcast notes when I'm brainstorming, preparing for a podcast, that's all living in here. And anyway, I can go on and on. I have AMI, which is our marketing institute that we are a part of, trainings, classes, EOS related stuff.
All right, they got the point.
Yep. So the other thing is, this is the newer one. You can change the color of the pen. You can highlight things. It's just super cool. And I love it very much. Joe Schindler got one late last year and Laura Lee Schmidt did too. So don't take my word for it. Go ask them how they're using it. There's lots of templates on Etsy that you can buy as well, like for planning, for projects, for goal setting and all that. So that is a very fun.
That episode about should your shop have a podcast is episode number 57. So you can go to shopmarketingpros.com/57. It will take you right to that episode. All right. Well, Kim, any final words?
No, except email us at podcast@shopmarketingpros.com if you have some techie, gadgety, some softwares or things that you think we failed to mention, and we can throw those in there. The other thing is we're always looking for new podcast ideas. So never forget that you can email ask, A-S-K, at shopmarketingpros.com or podcast@shopmarketingpros.com and ask us a question and we will answer it on our podcast or build out an entire episode, or heck, we may invite you on to talk about that particular thing. So with that in mind, just don't forget to email us, ask at or podcast@shopmarketingpros.com. And then, of course, our Facebook group. We'd love to have you in there. Go look for the Auto Repair Marketing Mastermind on Facebook and join it.
All right. Well, remember, we are just one of a handful of podcasts on the Aftermarket Radio Network. You can find the others at aftermarketradionetwork.com. I want to thank our sponsors, RepairPal and App Fueled. Again, we could not do this without them. I hope that you'll listen in again next week. Until then, go fill those bays.
You've been listening to the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast with Kim and Brian Walker. Follow the podcast on your favorite listening app. Find their emails in the show notes and visit them at shopmarketingpros.com. Let Kim and Brian know what you want discussed, because they're all about advancing the aftermarket.